Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today with a great podcast. I got a guy named Jamal who owns a tire company, and it's Roadrunner Mobile Tire repair. And I met Jamal, and you guys will look on my YouTube when he helped me with tires on my RV. The first notice this RV, and he did it so quick he blew me away. But what really blew me away with the young guy is his story of staying strong, making his mistakes, and keep coming back. And that is what is the key to life, actually. Before we get started, check us out on YouTube programs, check us out on Patreon, check us out on the Action Crew. We got merch, we got everything out there. Now, welcome to the show, Jamal.
How you doing?
Yeah, you're a little nervous, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
You can speak right up. Don't be scared.
Okay.
Let's go right. Where you from? You're from. How old are you?
28.
You're 28 years old. You own your own tire company.
Yeah, Tri-County. It's Tri-County Roadrunner, and then one of our DBA name is Roadrunner Mobile Tire Repair.
You know, it's amazing because what really got me wanting to do this is because you told me how you learned about tires. I mean, you literally learned about tires. You dove into something that people don't get. And I tell people all the time, I says, listen, whatever you do, just do it right. And if you do it right, you're going to learn and you become good at it. You can make a career out of it. You can make a business out of it. You got some big plans. Yeah. But we're going to get into your business here in a minute, and we're going to get into your background a little bit. When I met you, what made me want to help you and want to support what you do is you're a 3-time felon. You made your mistakes in life, and you're going to be a great example for young people to turn their life around and work hard. It doesn't mean you don't have fun. Life is about fun, man. Don't anybody ever, kid yourself. And life is about fun, and I think it's important. So I'm really want to get into that. At what age did you start getting into crime?
I first got in trouble when I was like 14 years old. Me and my cousin hanging out in the park. It's kind of like a screwed up situation too, but we were in the park in Boynton Beach playing with BB guns at a park, and it was a park where kind of like a lot of elderly people came and stuff like that, and there was this older couple out there, and I don't really know. We were out there at the park with the BB guns, kind of shooting ducks, doing dumb stuff, and before you know it, the police ended up showing up, and we just got arrested. Honestly.
So you both got arrested. You got some juvie charges, that kind of stuff.
It was like aggravated assault and stuff is what they gave us. But the crazy part of the whole situation, we didn't say not one word to those elderly people the whole time we were at the park, and we were at that park for about a whole hour and stuff before they even came. But it was just a weird situation. I was 14 years old. I really didn't know what the hell was going on and stuff. I had never had an encounter with the police anyway, so it was just kind of did what they said.
Right. So you get there. Your mom comes and gets you. You dumb motherfucker. What you doing?
She pulled my ass up.
Beat your ass up. I love it, man. Good for you. Good for her. Good for mom. Let's keep going though. When you become an adult, you start getting into trouble. What was your first time? Because you did what? How long did you do in prison?
No, I didn't. Thank God, I didn't go to prison.
You went to jail.
I went to county jail. I did a year in the county.
Okay.
Basically, I had a little bit of game time. I had 3 months game time, so I only had to end up doing like 6 or 7 months.
Right.
And stuff with the remaining from when I first went in.
What was the charge?
It was simple robbery and grand theft of a motor vehicle, which that's where they got lessened to and stuff, which was better for me and everything.
You know, people who know my story, I was robbing cars when I was 15, 16 years old, and we were making $500 a car, bringing them to chop shops. And I don't know if that's what you were doing as well, bringing them in there, making money, getting
similar situation. I've always felt like when I got older, I kind of, it's still a bad decision, but I always felt like if you're gonna be out here doing something, you got to make it make sense. And
There's nothing wrong with you say. You see people do stupid stuff, and you go, "Well, why'd you do it?" At least you were making money.
exactly.
You know, you started getting in trouble. So that was that your first felony?
Yes. Yes.
Do you have any other felonies?
And then that's when after the robbery and the Grand Theft Auto, I ended up in another situation in Boynton. Fortunately, Boynton is not in certain areas, it's not the greatest place to just, I guess, be around without protection. So was at a party one night in Delray with a friend of mine from Boynton. I had to take them home after that. So we go to Boynton. And the worst mistake I ever did was stopping at a corner store in Boynton, 2 o'clock in the morning, coming from a party. You know, the police kind of be hot on the streets. And I pulled up to the store, got some things out of there. We left the store. As soon as I ended up leaving the store, I got pulled over. And unfortunately, I had a gun in the car and stuff. It was my gun and everything. I ended up going to jail that night, too. They hit me with constructive possession of, the first they hit me with possession of a firearm, and they actually gave me a charge for every bullet that was in the gun, too.
Yeah, I tell these people all the time about the gun. And constructive possession means the gun is in your car.
Yeah.
And it's not locked up or something of that nature.
And basically, I'm a felon. Constructive possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
And, okay, so they get you for that. Now, let's get right to it. Why'd you have the gun? Were you in gang activity?
I wasn't in gang activity, but, you know, you have problems with people. You know, I guess Boynton's not really much of a gang place, but, you know, if you done had a problem with a guy or something recently, you just kind of, in our mind, I guess, we make it feel like, okay, we got to at least make sure we strap, we protect it.
You know, and I get that, because, listen, I used to carry 2 guns, but didn't you fight? Didn't you like to fight?
Yeah, we would, but nowadays people don't want to do that no more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I will fight. I would like to fight quicker than pull a gun to go to violence and stuff. But it's the next man. Is he gonna feel the same way?
Right. But obviously you went to a party with a gun, so you must have either thought, I don't know what you were doing, and I'm not gonna get into your whole thing of that.
Yeah.
You made your mistakes. Yes, you did have a gun. You robbed, you come out of jail, you do a year in jail, and then you come out, and you're still in the streets, you're still with the wrong crowd, obviously, and you had your gun. What was the third one?
I think that's actually it. I might be good on the felonies.
Well, was that the one when you got caught, you got pulled over by the cops when you were doing a job or something, and they thought it was a stolen car or something?
The fleeing and eluding, yeah. But I didn't get charged for that and anything. So yeah, you have 2 felonies and you're arrested the third time or whatever it was. Yeah. Multiple times. You go like that.
So now, at what age are you when you get caught with the gun?
I was 2016.
So that's 4 years. You're 24 years old.
Yeah.
What got you into becoming a car guy? I mean, I watched you take a tire off of this big RV, this 27,000-pound RV, which is nothing for you, and do it in 15 minutes. I mean, we were bullshitting more in the time than you did the job, which I like doing that. And I love to hear people who had their rough times and made it on their own. And obviously, as a convicted felon, it's hard to get a job that pays or whatever it is. Correct. And then you went and figured out. Tell me how you got into the car business or the tire changing business.
Well, basically, when I was 17 and I caught those charges of the robbery and stuff, I got put on house arrest. Of course, Palm Beach County schools didn't want to really deal with me and stuff like that. And the funny thing about it was I wasn't really a troublemaker in school. I used to get out of school and cause hell and stuff like that. I kind of went to school and did what I had to do.
You did go? Did you graduate?
Yeah, I did. I ended up graduating from Mavericks High School in Palm Springs. Their first year open. I was part of the first class that graduated.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations.
But when I went on house arrest, I couldn't find a school, so I ended up going to this school called Delray Youth Vocational Academy, and it was on Lake Ida and Congress. A lady named Marjorie, she ran the program. she was a very nice lady. You know, she had a couple people come speak to me and everything. You know, she felt like I was she seen something, maybe the same thing you seen. So she
work ethic, I think it is.
So when I went there, they had a mechanic program, and I joined the mechanic program. Truth be told, I joined the program to not go home so early because I was on house arrest. As soon as you get out of school, you gotta go home. But if you join a little program, you get to stay like 2 hours after school, chill with the girls and stuff. But you know, when I started the program, I actually took a like to it. Like, you know, we was doing brakes, tires and stuff, and they were showing us how to do oil changes and all this other stuff. So I took a real liking to it, you know, like really interested. I want to say his name was Bob, Mr. Bob, but I was like, and he could also tell that, okay, yeah, this cat's liking this because I'm asking a lot of questions about this and about that and things with tires and stuff. So kept that knowledge with me, and I ended up graduating. When I went to Mavericks right after Delray Youth. When I went to Mavericks and I graduated, I ended up my grandma. She asked me what I wanted for graduating. I told her I'm gonna think about it for a while. My dad had just passed away the year before that, and I asked. I said, "Can I get my dad's car in the backyard and stuff like that?" She was like, "Yeah, you can. That's a good idea." So when I got it, she was like, "He's gonna need some tires and stuff like that," and So I told my mom. Funny story. I told my mom. I said, "Come on, let's go to this tire shop and get some tires." So we went to Speedy Tires, and it's not there no more, but on Military Trail in Forest Hill. And when we went there, the guy Speedy, he was flirting with my mom and stuff. So I'm buying 4 tires, and he flirting with my mom. So they put the tires on, and we get back in the car. I literally look at my mom. I'm like, you can get me a job here. I'm like, I don't mind changing tires. I know what I'm doing a little bit. And she was like, what? I was like, "Cause he like you." So like,
use the mom to do it, right?
Use the mom, and she went in there. She got me a job. I worked at Speedy's for like 3 years. I'm talking about, unfortunately, not to talk bad about people's business, but I was getting underpaid. I was working. I was like his number one guy. Everything, working on dismantled machines. I'm talking about everything. It was.
Was it all tires? I mean, everything to do with tires.
Tires, brakes,
that kind
oil.
So it's like one of those Tire Kingdoms or wherever they do all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Correct. And did that for about 3.5 years, and stuff. I ended up leaving because I ended up getting licensed. Over the years, because I was interested, I had so much interest in tires and stuff. I did research. I found out other things. Stuff like, hey, if you get your license, you can leave this place at making $9.75, changing tires for 12 hours a day and stuff, 7 days a week. You can leave this place and you can go to a Tire Kingdom. They got Tires Plus. They got this, and I found this one company, Palm Beach Tire Pros and stuff.
So you got your license.
I ended up getting my license
at the first place at Speedy.
At Speedy's, and then I ended up leaving there, going to Palm Beach Tire Pros on Hyperluxo and Seacrest, and I worked there. For 3 months. They were doing car tires in the front of the building, and they were doing semi-truck tires in the back of the building. And no lie, I worked there for 3 months, and I left.
You didn't like it, or
I did, but it was starting to. They put it like this: what I've learned about these, what I also learned over the years working at quite a few tire shops too. Also, in between Speedies. I learned that basically a lot of times when the boss man has their number one guy, that's just all it's going to be. And a lot of people there at Palm Beach Tire Pros, they had seniority. You could ask them what you needed before you can even go to the boss man and stuff, and they can give you permission to leave and stuff like that. So
you had a lot of bosses, so to speak.
Yeah. So I actually just ended up leaving straight up. I felt like with the passion that I had for what I did, I felt like, okay, you got the first steps of this, go find somewhere. So went home, and now I'm gonna tell you
now
something.
You didn't get a job first, you just left them.
No, well, that's what I'm gonna say. I've always had a job. When I was working at Speedy's, I started working at Checkers on 6th and Dixie.
Good. I love your work ethic, Jamal. That's what I love.
No lie, I was getting up in the morning, going to Speedy's at 7.
So you went back to Speedy's?
I'm gonna tell you, when I was working at Speedy's and working at Checkers, this is what I was doing. I would go to Speedy's like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would work all the way to 7 o'clock. I'll get off work and go to Checkers at 9, and I'll work at Checkers from 9 to 4.
To 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning, I get off, and then I'll get up and go to Speedy's at 12
o'clock again. So you went home. So you really were busting your ass.
In the end, towards the end, yes. At the end, I had it down packed so good.
Now, were you a saver with money, or were you a spender?
Spender.
With what? The ladies, the partying? You didn't have time to party?
I didn't, but I had had my family and stuff like that with my girl, and I didn't have no kids at the time. She had kids, but I always felt like I just had to be the man, so I kind of had a lot of responsibilities, along with paying bills and stuff. I guess I really didn't have a lot of time.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you ever think about getting back into robbing cars, doing stuff, crime, drugs? Obviously, we're all able to do that. I mean, I tell young people every day, listen, it would be easy for me to do crime. I could go rob a jewelry store right now for $1 million. No question.
Correct.
I won't. I mean, I know I could get away with it. It's not in me. I don't want to have to look over my shoulder. I don't want to get back into that game, so to speak. And I could make less money and be happier and without that pressure. Did you ever think about it, though, working 2 jobs and all that?
The robbery, probably not. Maybe a little slanging, trying to make some money here and there. I don't want to incriminate myself, but yeah, I attempted.
Okay, and you saw it wasn't for you.
Yeah, it was.
Don't worry, the statute of limitations way up. I know the law.
So yeah, it was just a lot going on in the city of Lake Worth at that time. I was living in Lake Worth, and basically, what I was making and stuff, I just felt like, listen, it's true. I kind of had to stop because I'm like, nah, it ain't really worth it, man. These guys out here getting time over this little petty little stuff too. I just was like,
yeah, and you knew you were getting it. You were a felon already. All of a sudden you get caught
already.
It's done, man. You know that, and you're gonna get a lot of time. You're gonna start off with about 3 to 5 years, but next slick is gonna be 10 plus, and then that's just the way they're doing people. But so now you're working at you did your 2 jobs, and then you quit that, and then you went to the one place because you got your certification.
Yeah, basically, I had my license.
Your license.
Yeah.
You get a license? There's a license for tires?
Well, there is a TIA, but what? A TIA, it's like a tire certificate, like you're a certified tire technician and stuff.
Oh, wow.
I do have one of those, actually. I got my TIA when I was at Goodyear and stuff.
Well, you went to Goodyear, too.
Yeah, that's why I kind of moved around a lot in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But I thank everybody, because moving around, yes, it did show that I didn't have stability, but when you sit up here and talk to me, I got every trait of every last boss that I worked for.
Well, you learned, I always say, if you're moving forward, no matter what you're doing good. Just don't get stagnant, and don't get have your ultimate goal. I'm sure your ultimate goal is to own your own business.
Correct. I've always wanted to get out and do it on my own, especially the fact that I was liking what I do,
Yeah, you talk to me about tires, and like I talk about young people, and I talk about what I did. You got a passion for tires. When I told you, what about, I'm worried about this, you go, Larry, listen to me, let me tell you about tires. And you started going into all this stuff about mistakes. You can't make a mistake, one boss told you, because you make a mistake, people die. You got into these tires that you know more about tires probably than anybody I know.
Yeah.
And I what got you in? Now you work multiple tire places. What took you to tires and not maybe mechanics? Because doesn't mechanics make great money? Like, today it's computer shit, but
yeah. What I was seeing was when I really it was Speedy's. honestly to figure out that I really like what I'm doing. And I guess the rush and the rush of everything and trying to move at a fast speed and pace. I guess.
No, you need that. A lot of young people do. They can't get stale and bored or so. Now you do major 18-wheelers and all that kind of stuff. That's really where you make your money, right? Or you do mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, we do semi trucks, everything, dump trucks, RVs, of course.
Yeah. And do you get contracts for that, or is it people just pull you out of a book?
Well, we got the advertisement. Our ads is pretty big right now. We got a lot of advertising jobs. I do have a couple of accounts. Like this one account I got with TC Express in Riviera Beach. Two older gentlemen. They got like 8 trucks, 13 trailers, and stuff like that. We do a lot of work from them.
Now they'll subcontract you.
Well, I'm not gonna really say subcontract you, but basically you're their main tire guy. Any tire issues that they have, they're gonna call you first for anything. When it comes to buying tires, all that, they'll call you first. And I have another one, but it's not semi, but another one, Trinity Asphalt out in Royal Palm. This guy named John. He owns that company, but he has like smaller trucks like F-250s and trailers and stuff. And I do all his tires too. I actually just last week we did 8 tires out.
No, I get what you mean. What I meant is like on the highway, a truck goes down. How do they call you?
Through the ads.
Because I didn't call. Well, how I did it was I called a company that I have insurance for.
Yeah, it do work like that sometimes. It will work like that. They
AAA or whatever.
Allstate. They do call us out and like basically I guess subcontract us a job and stuff. Now that night you called a company and I guess whoever your insurance, and they called their company and it got subbed out a third way. Basically, I'm talking about it was heaven sent too, So that call actually, the guy Chad from Premier One Towing, he's the one that subbed me out to that call.
To my call.
Yeah.
It was funny because when you got there, I knew, and they said, hey, listen, whatever the deal is, you have to do this. And then I got to the main guy where I was, and he said, listen, whatever you pay, get a receipt, and we'll reimburse you. I said, good enough, deal enough. Then when you came out there, and I just said, this kid's a hustler, man. He called me, got there quick as he could, and I was way up. I was up in Port St. Lucie. And you came out there, and you popped it real quick, obviously. I consider that quick. Shit, it would take me an hour, 2 hours to freaking change a flat on a freaking regular bicycle. But that's just me. But so you end up going from all these tire places. How do you find your own business? How do you get into your own business? That's what people want to know.
It happened at Goodyear. LPEX. I've always had a boss to like me. Like the bosses, they've always.
You're a likable guy, man. You got me to like you. You really are. You're a likable guy.
So, Scott Flexer, he was a pretty good guy. Man, honestly, let me tell you something. Scott Flexer, he was the first guy I ever seen. He eat my wife's cooking the way he was eating it. I'm talking about, but here that's neither here nor there. But we were good.
Oh, your wife used to give you food and he'd eat it.
Yeah, he'd eat it. I'm talking about scrape the plate type stuff. I'm like, hey, your wife cooked last night. So,
I love it.
But we came really close, and he used to let me keep my stocked up tires. I had a bunch of tires in stock at my house, and I was telling Scott, like, I got so many tires, bro.
Now, what do you mean you got tires? New tires?
Used tires. I was saving tires, keeping them in stock and stuff like that. And I had a funny story. I had a 1999 Mercury Grand Marquis, and my girl's mom had bought me this little air tank where you fill it up. I had this little axe picks, and I had these little tool bars and stuff like that I was just saving over time. And no lie, man, I was changing tires out of the Mercury, pulling up the people and stuff. And
they gotta be saying, what the hell is this?
It was kind of weird in the beginning and stuff. But Scott used to let me keep a lot of inventory and stuff. And if I showed up early in the morning or late in the afternoon, he would sometimes even let my customers pull up, and I would do little things. And I'm talking about, he was a great friend of mine. What basically happened, once I started working at Goodyear, of course, you start elevating, you start meeting people, you meet this person, you meet that person, and stuff like that. So I was having a lot of jobs out of this Mercury, so I'm like, I can't keep doing this. So the guys at the road technicians at Goodyear, I started asking them, hey, you boys will take me somewhere after work, I'll pay you $100. I'll pay you $90. So it started to turn into, I think that's where I messed up at. I should have bid it low. They take me here, I'll give you $50 because they started noticing, wait, this cat giving us $100 just to take him somewhere. How much money is he making?
Yeah, well, they must have thought they were doing something else.
No, actually, they were there to see.
They watched the whole thing.
So right? I need to use their truck and all this other stuff and load tires up. So they just start. The next thing it kind of was going left. They were starting to ask for more money and this and that, and I don't know. I just kind of got fed up. One day I got fed up and I was leaving Goodyear in rage, and I called Chad, and Chad was a tow guy from Premier One Towing, and I'm like, Chad, listen, bro, I need a truck really bad, dog. I'm like, bro, I need a truck. I was like, I got some for them guys at that job.
Did you have money?
A couple dollars and stuff.
Nothing made. I mean, you really on your balls, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you're still hustling, but you're paying for wife.
Listen, when I was living, honestly, that Goodyear was that's the job that really bought it all out. Trust me. I was staying in a house where I had $1,400 rent. I'm talking about $1,400 rent. You got 4 kids in there. You got your kid in there. I'm talking about, listen,
it's a lot of money. Better hustle.
And then my girl making less than minimum wage and stuff. It was just, that was a tough spot when we moved into that place, and we had to basically move in there because we didn't really have nowhere to go.
You have nowhere to go and no room. Right.
So but we was hustling, busting it down and stuff like that. And Chad was like, bro, I got a truck. I got a Dodge Ram. This is 1995 right now. He was like, okay. So he said, I'm like, so how much you want? He was like, give me $625 or $650 or something. So what I told him was, I'm like, well, listen, how about this? Every weekend, every Sunday, I'll give you $100. I'll give you $125 till we work it out and stuff. I gave him $100 in the beginning, and I was like, I'll give you $125 every Sunday. So Chad gave me the truck. He gave it to me in the beginning and stuff.
So he trusted you.
Yeah, obviously. He trusted me because we were doing a lot of business. So how I did to pay for the truck was crazy. I would go to Speedy's. I called Speedy's. I hadn't spoke to him in years. I'm like, yo, you need somebody on a Sunday and stuff like that? Because Sundays was one of their busiest days. I remember he was like, yeah, I'm working for me on a Sunday. So basically, I'm working at a truck tire shop Monday through Friday, changing semi-truck tires. And then on Sunday, I'm going to Speedy's 8 o'clock in the morning, busting it down. And I started noticing that when I was going to Speedy's those Sundays, man, listen, I'm talking about, there was a sheet of paper where you keep your name of how many tires and stuff you're doing. Man, listen, I'm talking about, I'm busting down 35, 42 cars in one day.
Whoa, you ain't playing around. Sunday. You're turning them over, man.
And the pay, unfortunately, I don't want to keep bashing the guy, but the pay really wasn't that great. So you only really got paid $90 to work from that 8 to 4.
At 35 cars?
Yeah, but listen, now you're
making tips.
You getting paid $90, but you leaving with $150 in tips too. I was killing what we were making for the day in tips.
So you're making $225.
Yeah, I was making about $225 every Sunday.
So and you're paying your guy $125, walking away with $120. You own the car in 5 weeks.
Yeah, by the end of the month, I had the truck. I went and got it registered, and it's funny because when I first pulled up in the truck, those guys at Goodyear, they was looking like, oh shit, he done went and got a truck, and like they were laughing. Because it was beat up. The truck was really beat up.
They lost out on getting that money.
They lost out on getting that money. So they introduced me to one of the guys from Goodyear. Had introduced me to this guy named Tony Tires Road Service off 10th Avenue and stuff. And I used to buy tires from Tony. So when I got the truck, I went over there with Tony. Tony, look, I got a truck. Blah, say, blah. Yeah, you like it? I need to get a compressor. Da 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 da. Because I'm talking about trying to start doing my own little tire service. This guy Tony, he told me that, I remember that day like nothing. He was like, okay, this is what I want you to do, Jamail. Meet me. He said, meet me at Wings Plus. It was a Wings Plus off Congress and 6th Ave. He was like, meet me at Wings Plus tonight at 8:00 p.m. Weird stories. It made you feel like you was living in like some movie type stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever.
Yeah, what's going on? What am I going on Wings Plus?
Yeah, so I'm thinking he gonna try to, you know what I'm saying? So we go over there and we have the man gave me some dinner, you know, bought me some wings.
You're happy already.
And stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, what's going on, Tony? And once again, another person, I see something in you, hustle, ambition. He was like, you gotta drive and stuff. This guy said, I got a compressor that I'm not using. He was like, but it's kind of a mission to get it. He told me where it was and stuff like that. So I'm like, you serious? He was like, yeah, and give me $600 for it and stuff for the compressor. He was like, pay me when you can.
Now it's an industrial compressor.
Industrial compressor, 30 gallon. Exactly what it was exactly what I needed. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go get my nephew. That weekend I went and got my nephew and we went to Lake Worth to where it was. It was at this mechanic shop that these Spanish guys own. Now, in the back of the mechanic shop, they had cars lined up in a row to a gate. Tony said the compressor is in a white van in the back. Do you know you had like 5 cars in a row, then you had the gate. So just imagine this. It was like basically the truck was boxed in the corner behind a whole bunch of cars.
And you couldn't even take this compressor out without like a hand truck.
Without an engine lift or something. We had to use an engine lift. But not only that, the van ain't have no engine in the inside of it. So you couldn't even move it. So the Mexican guys, they moved all the cars in front of the van for me and my nephew. And we literally got behind the van and I'm talking about we pushed it all the way up. No lie.
To get it out to the front.
To get it out to the front. The guys let us use the engine crane to pull out the compressor. We put it on the back of my truck. I strapped it down. We went to my aunt's house and me and my nephew, he helped me bolt that thing. We drilled it down and.
Oh, you bolted into the truck you got for $600.
Exactly.
So you started this company with that compressor and that truck.
Exactly.
So it's $600 for that truck and $600 for the compressor, as much as the truck.
Exactly. And just took off like that. And
that's how you started this thing. Now you have a warehouse and you have tires
correct.
Everywhere and everything else.
And I was getting all my tools. Like I said, Scott Flexer, he was such a good guy. He was selling me tools and stuff, selling me the big guns for a cheap price, selling me the cheetahs,
the power stuff.
Exactly. He was selling it to me for a great price. So it was kind of used. But over the time, I was buying stuff too for myself.
Now this all started at what age?
I was 2017. So I was like,
Well, it was 2007. So you have your business for 3 years, a little over 3 years.
Yeah.
So 2017. So you're 25 years old.
Yeah. So yeah, but in the beginning it was fictitiously registered. I had the business, I guess, fictitiously registered in 2017. I did register it fictitiously. I don't really know what that means down here, but
you're doing a DBA, doing business as. Do you have a corporation?
LLC.
Okay, LLC corporation.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, so you're a registered corporation.
But that didn't happen until 2020.
Good for
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
So you got yourself legit.
In 2020, I did the fictitious thing. I guess that was, I don't know if they like, it's like if you make it as a hobby, but I was able to register it fictitiously because one time I had a situation when I had this truck and everything. I had this big major company from Georgia call me and stuff, and I went out there and I did a road service in Delray for this really big company in Georgia one time. It was like heaven sent too.
And they said, damn.
And they wrote me a check in Tri-County Roadrunner name. That's what happened. And I went and got the business. That's what made me go get it registered fictitiously and stuff. And
so I gotta cash this check.
Yeah.
I need money.
So when I did that, that's when they gave me the money. The bank gave me the money and stuff.
Well, yeah, well, you need to register that with whether it's Sunbiz or whatever, so you can open a bank account, because you can't open a bank account and then get checks made. And if you get them made in your name, that's not a good thing either, because then all of a sudden the taxes are going to come straight to you, and there's no way to get liability insurance as a company and all that kind of stuff. So now you ended up getting such a? Obviously, does business start just picking up on your own? I mean, what got you like? You didn't go to business school. You're self-made, and I call and the guy. Everybody who knows you, you're right. It's the hustle. It's learning. You're very smart. Obviously, you absorb, and that's the number one thing. What makes you in the beginning? Now you got a truck, and are you just trying to make extra money? Was that how it really started?
I did need the money because, like I said, the rent was $1,400. I had obligations and stuff still going on. That money I had to pay and everything. Life was just stressful, so it was it was the money. It was good money, and then once again, I enjoy what I'm doing. No lie, man. I could be out there changing 10 semi tires. I'm having the best time of my life. You know, I got a lot of times when I do like a lot of quantity of tires, I like turn my music on and stuff like that. I'm talking about I really get in the rhythm.
No, I saw you. I saw you do the tires twice with me, and you did my stems, and all that kind of stuff. And I gotta say, I mean, not only you're good, you're quick, I mean, it. Obviously, you've done a zillion of them now, I'm sure, and the big rigs and all that stuff. And I'll bet every job is a challenge, because every rig that has a flat or something, it's something different. You don't know. You might go out different. The weight of it, the angle of it. It's cool. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of, and that would excite anybody. But now you're a business. Now you advertise. Do you have any employees?
But one as right now. Okay. He's kind of like a part-time employee and stuff. His name Calvin Clemens.
Right now he works for you, and now you've been teaching him the trade. Is that what it is? Like,
yeah, basically. Hopefully by May this year, I'm gonna actually be having because Calvin doesn't have license right now, but hopefully by May we working on getting a hardship, so he gonna have the license in May. I'm actually working on getting another truck, so by this summer I'm hoping 2 trucks, 2 workers. We can be in 2 different places, Tri-County, Road Runner.
Is there enough business out there?
There is enough business. It's I went to sleep today, but I've been up for the last 48 hours since yesterday. Changing tires.
And
I was in Yeehaw Junction. I was in Fort Pierce. I went to Belglade the other night. Everything.
Good for you, man. Again, that's that hustle and that's that work ethic, and I think that's important. You got a great story of a guy who made mistakes, who changed his life with passion for what he does, and I think that's really, really important. I think people need to hear that. What do you want to say to my audience that are young people listening, and whether they made mistakes, not? What is it? Follow the pay. What would you say to them?
That's a good question. Just you got to do the right thing. It's hard, and it's hard out here. Like, honestly, trust me, it's a lot of times where I'm not gonna sit up here and say, I'll be like, damn, I should just go rob their ass. But it is a lot of times where when things get rough, I guess, and becoming a man, it just make you feel like, I wish there was another way, But from where you've been, if you done been somewhere, you'd be like, you don't want to go back to that situation. So I don't know. You gotta. Honestly, I just try to tell people, pray about it, push, pray until something happens.
Good for you. I try to tell people to what you said earlier, and you didn't hit on here, is find what you like to do, and you'll like it, and you like to go out. When you get a call to go to an 18-wheeler that got 2 flats or an accident they need to do,
I'm ready.
You're ready, man.
I get pumped.
You get pumped, and I like what I do, and that's what makes me want to keep doing it. You like what you do, and that's what makes you go. And I think most people, that's the best advice I try to give people, is find what you like to do that can make money. Obviously, I'd like to also, just go fly around in a plane, but how am I going to make money,
Exactly.
But a lot of people find what they like to do, and you have. It took a while. You went, and none of the obstacles in the way. You're personable. You got great communication skills. I'm giving you, it has nothing to do with education. As an educated man, I was a street guy. I was always a street guy. I could read people. I could talk to people. I could talk to a multi-millionaire. I could talk to the thug. It's just the way I was, and that's a talent you have. And I think if we could teach people the talents of either communication skills, work hard, and like what you do, and you're going to be a success in life. And I want to thank you for coming on, man. I think your story is amazing. I love that you had your hardships and you changed your life around, because that's what we call this, redemption stories. People who've changed. You found God. Good for you. I love that. Anybody who has whatever it takes in your life to become a better human being. And I've seen good and bad and all that kind of stuff, but you're coming from the heart, and I think that's all that matters. So I want to thank you.
All right, Larry.
Have a great one, man. And if I need a tire guy, and if anybody needs a tire guy, and you're in anywhere in Southeast Florida, from Port St. Lucie to Miami,
Correct.
man, you call my man Jamail, and his information is in the links below, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you check it out, his information. All right, everybody, have a great day. Stay strong, stay out of trouble, and make good choices.